This is a Best Syndication News video production. On February 5th, the local voters of Phelan and Pinon Hills will decide on a community service district. We attended a meeting of the candidates for the board of directors on January 8th. This is that meeting.
My name is Ken Anderson. I've lived in the community for most of my life, for over 30 years. Been involved in a lot of things here in the Chamber of Commerce, the MAC Board, the Municipal Advisory Council, and I've also been involved with some county appointments in the Planning Commission and the General Plan Advisory Council. And I guess I want to just keep doing, good for the community, and I think that's what this CSD is all about. It's local control. It's being able to communicate what the community wants. There's certainly, as with the Municipal Advisory Council, there's restraints that we have. There's, we're not going to be able to give you free water because we like you and you're our neighbors. We have fiscal responsibilities. We have long-term stability issues that have to be addressed. Infrastructure and those type things. But I believe Joe did a great job of summing up what we're here to do. And I believe with local control, we will have a better opportunity to see what the future will be for our area.
My name is Mark Roberts. I've lived here for 20-odd years. I think that the community service district is a very good idea. I work with water entities throughout Southern California, helping to develop water supplies. And although water is a major issue in all of Southern California, there are other areas that this service district will affect, such as street lighting in parks. And there's a very important thing. I've lived here for so long and there's been no parks built. It's very disappointing that my children are getting older now, so it's past them, but there's going to be more people moving in here. And I believe that the local control is very important, and I want to help out with that, and that's the most important, is passing this measure. So I ask you all to go out and get your friends and neighbors to vote for this measure, and secondarily, vote for us, 1 to 5 of us. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Al Morissette. I'm probably the most animated person up here on this table, but don't take that as that I'm not serious. I'm very serious about this position. I'm very serious about Measure I. When I moved to this community in 1996 with my family, I fell in love with the community of Phelan and Pinon Hills. I've since always resided in Pinon Hills. As a member of the Pinon Hills community, I was involved in their MAC for 7 years and served 4 years as the chairman of the MAC. That really got me involved with a lot of things in the community. That got me to associate with a lot of entities with the county and learn how the county works. Since then, I went to Zone L on their water board, and I've been on the Zone L water board in my 4th year right now. Again, I'm a researcher by trade, so to speak. I'm a journalist. I really like to get involved and find out what makes the nuts and bolts of things work and where it all comes from. I've learned a lot about how the OS State Aquifer and Zone L interrelate. I've learned about how the lighting district works with the community. I've learned how the Park and Recreation Department can work with the community and how we can build upon that. I'm involved in the VFW as a board of trustees of the men's auxiliary over there. Basically, I do a lot of auditing for them in the men's auxiliary. I've owned businesses, some successful businesses, and some not so successful. If you like to learn from both, that's where it all comes from. I believe that the initial board is a very vital entity. The initial board's going to have to put in a lot of time, learn how to build a lot of things. We're going to be setting protocols. Fortunately, the committee that was formed in 2004, we have covered a long basis. I'm one of the founders of that committee. Charlie and several of the other members here have been founders and interrelated with that committee. And we really learned, we really did our homework and we learned a lot of things. The feasibility plan that was developed was not just developed by one person, it was developed by a lot of people. It was developed with people from the community, it was developed from our input, and it was all blended together. And I could go on, but let's give the people time to talk. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Charlie Johnson. And first of all, I'd like to thank you for being here. I was afraid we were going to have an empty auditorium, but it's good to see you out here. I want to thank you for being here and thank all of the people that have been supporting this Measure I over the years. I'd like to especially thank my wife for being so patient when I wasn't there for 3 years in line when I was working at going in meetings and.
Have your wife stand up.
Because I mean, I was countless hours of meetings in San Bernardino and all, and as Al said, Dave and Al and I were on the original committee. We met, interestingly, April 15th, 2004. So it's been a long road. We've come a long way. I moved to the community in 1990. We moved to the community in 1992. And when I came out here, I said, gosh, I read the newspaper and all that, and it's okay, but I really still wasn't getting a sense of what was going on in the community. So I started going to the school board meetings. I went to more school board meetings than some of the members. They wanted to know if I was running for the school board, and I said, oh, heavens no, but here I am, so I don't know. But I went to the Kiwanis meetings. Kiwanis we were the charter. I was one of the charter members of the Kiwanis, which sponsors the 4th of July program. Many of you hopefully have seen that. If you haven't been to the auditorium, the stadium, you should come in instead of watching it from your backyard. But I went to the equestrian unit meetings. I went to, we had a camp back and forth back. I went to these meetings to find out what was going on in the community. And the problem with that was I found out that I was incapable of saying no. She'll attest to that. And so we have this sign on my refrigerator that says, stop me before I volunteer again. So I've been involved in all these things, and that's where I've been involved in the community for all this time. And I've been involved with American Youth Soccer Organization for over 30 years. So I have a long history of volunteering and helping in the community. So when I saw the things that were going on here, and like 4 years ago, when we had that, Victorville wanted to move their sphere of influence a mile west and encroach on Phelan. Well, that was my house. It was Joe's house. And I said, like heck, that's not going to happen. So there was a meeting in the community center. We literally burst the seams of that place, and some of you might have been there. And that was where this seed was planted about the Community Services District. And after that, we just started having meetings and figured out, and it's been a long road. And I have to tell you, other people I'd like to thank our former supervisor, Bill Postmanis, and our current supervisor, Brad Metzelfeld, because without their support and without anybody who knows Paula Nowicki, his chief of staff, she is tenacious. She gets stuff done. And she was just incredibly helpful in getting all of this stuff worked through and working with the county and pushing the right buttons, because she knows all the buttons. She knows where the skeletons are hidden, and so she was really, really helpful. So we've gone through this process, and it's going to keep us autonomous from the cities to our east, which is a huge thing. I've been out here 16 years, and nobody said I want to be part of Victorville. Nobody said that. And or Hesperia. Now, Hesperia is a little nicer than Victorville, but we still want to be our own group. We want to have the rural lifestyle. We want to maintain that. And it's important for us to make decisions for ourselves. The people in San Bernardino, right now, the district is run by the Board of Supervisors. That's still the governing body. Well, they're all good guys and gals, and Rosie Gonzalez. They're all good people, but they're not here. We want local people making local decisions for local resources.
My name is John Perry. In about 1988, I was into watching motorcycle road racing up at
This has been a Best Syndication News video production.